On number 9, we're given the equation s equals 16t squared plus 32t, where s is the distance traveled by the ball, and t is the number of seconds. So we're asked to find how long will it take the ball to fall 96 feet. Since s is our distance, we just replace that with 96. So you have 16t squared plus 32 equals 96. Since all these terms have a greatest common denominator, you ought to divide through by it. And in this case, the greatest common denominator is 16. So divide through by 16, you're left with t squared plus 2t, I guess I forgot a t there, plus 2t equals 96 divided by 16 is 6, and that leaves you with a much easier equation. Now we could either use the quadratic formula or completing the square. I'll use completing the square again since that's harder, a little bit harder, and you'll want to see that. So completing the square, we need to bring the constant to the right side, which already is there. So we can move on to the next step. Now we need to take half of this term and then square it. Half of 2 is 1. 1 squared is still 1. So we need to add 1 to both sides. T squared plus 2t plus 1 equals 6 plus 1 is 7. Now that we have this perfect square trinomial, we can factor that into t plus 1 squared equals 7. Now we can take the square root of both sides, and we're left with t plus 1 equals plus or minus the square root of 7, and then subtract 1 from both sides, and we're left with t equals negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 7. And that would be our answer, but we're asked to round this to the nearest tenth. So we should put both of these answers into our calculator. Negative 1 minus the square root of 7, and that gives us something around negative 3.6. And the other answer, negative 1 plus the square root of 7, gives us something around 1.6. Now, since we're dealing in real units, so you can't have a negative time, we remove this answer, and we're left with 1.6. And that's our answer. So the answer to 9 is D, 1.6 seconds.